She had never been the type to fight back. Her life was about compassion, healing, and keeping people alive. But when a ruthless biker gang stormed the ER and sent her crashing to the cold linoleum floor, everything changed. Bleeding, humiliated, and heart racing, she reached for the only thing near her, a broken chair leg. What happened next shocked the entire hospital, and the world. Before we begin this unbelievable true story of courage, defiance, and redemption, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications. These are the stories they don't want you to see. And you won't want to miss what happens next. Asterisk, it was just another Tuesday night at Westfield General Hospital. Rain hammered the parking lot outside, bouncing off the ambulance bay in cold sheets. Inside, the night shift had just begun. Nurse Emily Carter, 32, experienced, dedicated, and fiercely protective of her patients, sipped the last of her bitter coffee in the staff break room. She had no idea that the next 6 hours would change her life and the lives of everyone in the ER-forever. Emily had worked nights for years. She liked the calm, the quiet, the way patients whispered at night instead of screamed. But that night, a storm wasn't just brewing outside. It was about to break down the ER doors. Around 9:47 p.m., the hospital's sliding doors burst open. A group of 5 bikers stormed into the emergency room, tall, muscular, covered in black leather, tattoos, and fury. One of them clutched his bloodied arm. Another dragged behind him what looked like a baseball bat, dripping with rain and something else Emily didn't want to guess. The staff froze. Security hadn't arrived yet. And the bikers weren't just here for medical help. They had a vendetta. Emily stepped forward before anyone else. "We need you to calm down. Please put the bat down. We're here to help." The leader, known later as Tank, a bald brute with a snake tattoo coiling up his skull. "You nurses don't run this place. You take orders. And we're the ones giving them tonight." No one moved. Emily stood her ground. "You're in a hospital? That means you follow our rules, or you leave." In a split second, Tank lunged forward. He grabbed the edge of her uniform and shoved her violently to the ground. Papers scattered. The stool next to her toppled. Her head hit the floor hard enough to blur her vision. For a moment, the world was spinning. She heard gasps. A doctor screamed for help. Someone hit the emergency button, but it was already too late. The ER had been taken over, and no one was coming to save them. Emily lay on the cold, hard floor. Her cheek pressed against shattered glass from the supply cart the bikers had overturned. Blood trickled from her temple. Somewhere in the distance, someone was crying, but all she could think of was one thing. "They did this in front of my staff, my patients, my home." Something inside her snapped. She pushed herself up on shaky elbows. Behind her, Tank was shouting at the receptionist to unlock the narcotics cabinet. Another biker was dragging a patient out of the trauma room. Emily looked down. A broken leg from a plastic and steel chair lay beside her, jagged and just long enough to swing. She gripped it. The nurses screamed at her to stay down. "Emily, don't." But she was already moving. She stood up with the chair leg gripped like a weapon and took her first step toward the gang. She wasn't a fighter. She wasn't trained for this. But adrenaline had erased the fear. Tank turned, laughed. "You want to go again, Florence Nightingale?" Emily didn't answer. She drove the leg of the chair into the side of his knee with everything she had. There was a crack, a scream, and suddenly the playing field wasn't so uneven. One by one, she fought. The ER turned into chaos. Monitors beeped. Nurses ducked behind carts. A gurney slammed into a wall. But Emily had become something else entirely. Something no one expected from a nurse in white scrubs. By the time security finally arrived, 2 of the gang members were unconscious. One had his own boot lodged in a vending machine. Another had fled. But Emily stood, bloodied and bruised, panting, holding the broken leg like a sword. They had knocked her down, but she got back up swinging. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. When the police arrived, Emily was treated like a suspect before she was hailed as a hero. A viral video had already hit the internet, posted by a patient's family member who caught the entire incident on their phone. By morning, the nurse with the chair leg was trending worldwide, but the real story was only just beginning. In the aftermath, it was discovered that the gang hadn't come for drugs or violence. They had come for evidence. Evidence hidden in a medical file that implicated a powerful figure in organized crime. A file one of the ER doctors, Dr. Clayton Reeves, was supposed to quietly delete. He didn't. He handed it to Emily instead. And when they came for it, they got Emily instead. The hospital board tried to silence her. The police wanted her to stay quiet, but Emily refused. She gave interviews, testified in court, and helped bring down one of the most dangerous crime syndicates in the city. She also started a foundation, Rising Night Nurses for Frontline Workers, who had suffered trauma from violence on the job. She was invited on Ellen, Jimmy Fallon, BBC Breakfast, not because she wanted fame, but because she had become the symbol of something greater. You don't need to wear armor to fight back. Sometimes, you just need a chair leg and a reason. So next time someone tries to knock you down, remember Emily Carter, because sometimes the strongest warriors wear white.